What's up, you guys, and welcome back to my channel. I am Mikael, and today is a story time. And today's story time is going to be about my stalking neighbor. Stay tuned. So today I'm going to tell you guys a story time about how I had a creepy neighbor. And once again, it is nail day. I don't think I did my nails last time. But I don't know if you could tell, but I want to go out, so time to do these nails. Look, it's like a ombre pink I don't know if you, it's like a pink / white. There, you can see it kind of. But anyways, so today's story time is about my neighbor, my creepy neighbor. So I'm gonna start the story time off with I had this is not this apartment, but so it was like, I think I lived at the apartment for like 3 years. I was probably at that apartment for a good like year before I even met any of my neighbors. Right? So, this is when my days, this is my days when I used to drink a bit. So don't judge me too much. Don't judge me too much. So, I used to, when I stayed at this apartment, I used to basically like hang out on my porch and like drink, like sip my wine, smoke, and probably be talking on the phone, shooting the shit with like a friend or a family member or something like that, right? So me, basically, like, you know, in the hood when you be chilling on your porch, hey, what's up? That was me. I mean, it's not like it was just me. I wasn't the only person outside, you know, but that's pretty much how I met my neighbors. So, because I used to be a wino, I ended up meeting a fellow wino neighbor. And it was I believe they were like a gay couple. And so we would just be like, oh, you know, like, what wine you got today? And, it was fun. It was cute. And it got to the point that by the time I was there for like year 2, year 3, we started actually exchanging wine, like gifting each other wine. Right? So it started off with me, my neighbor, and his boyfriend or husband. I'm actually not sure if they were like married or not, but me, my neighbor, his boyfriend / husband. And then we ended up getting new neighbors next door. And then that's when, after like maybe a few months, it was a couple, like a white dude and an Indian girl or Indian woman. And then she would start chilling with us. So then it was just me, the gay couple, the Indian. I'm not going to say their names. So, yeah, I'm not going to say their names. And I'm not really sure what to name them, because this is like the only story time they'll be in. So don't think I'm like trying to identify them like there was anything wrong with her being Indian or them being gay. It didn't bother me. I was exchanging wine. We literally made our own like wine club. So it was fun. It was cute. It was still fun and cute. And then we had the other neighbor. He was an older Italian man, an older Italian white man. So then he ended up, and this is not like quickly. This is over the course of at least a year or two. So at one point, when it was basically towards the end of us being the messy couple, it was getting towards the end. It wasn't the end yet, but it was getting towards the end of us being the messy couple in the neighborhood. Basically, that it got to a point where I completely lost myself. I did not trust myself with my thoughts. I didn't trust myself to believe anything, because the way that him and his mother and his basically all his people, I was pretty much isolated away from the people who should have been in my corner, because, you know, the COs, they didn't even like me in the first place. It was almost like I said, I've said this so many times, it was like they were out to get me. It was like they wanted to see me fail. It was like, to them, the only thing I deserved was to get effed over and learn this lesson of life. Now, I'm not saying there's no life lessons, there's no lessons in life. But it was almost as if that's all they wanted for me. It wasn't like they wanted me to like grow up, learn lessons, and then succeed. It was just like I don't know, it was like they got off on my life being terrible. And like I said, I got to a point where I was internalizing things so much that I completely lost who I was. I was not my fun-loving, funny, goofy, communicative self. And I definitely still communicated, but my communication came out in like severe anger, and then I became an angry drunk. So yeah, I'm like, I found myself trying to be like, hey, this is why I'm upset. And then it'll be like, oh, you crazy, bitch, ain't nobody. Well, he never he never said that. He wasn't the type to call me out my name. Not this guy. This I think did I start a story time with him already? Richard. I don't know if I'm gonna give him a name. His name is Richard, the guy that I was with. The story time is not exactly about him, but I do have story times about him. So me and Richard did not get along at all. So it was like this weird cycle of me saying, hey, this thing you're doing is hurting my feelings, or I have suspicions that you're cheating on me, or I'm uncomfortable with this friend of yours. They weren't friends, they was hoes. Friend of yours, and you're lying about this friend of yours, and then like, oh no, it's just a friend, it's just a friend, it's just a friend. And then me looking crazy, psycho, I lose my shit. He then, buys me something, or now all of a sudden we can go out on dates because I'm not embarrassing. I gained so much weight. So basically it was like, I was like this weight. I was actually a little bit bigger when I met him. I was like 154, but I didn't look bigger. It was 154. I was like 154 when I met him. By the time we got to this point where all this happens, I was like 200 pounds. And I honestly looked like I was like 125, maybe 130 pounds when I met him. And then I gained like 270 pounds. Like the difference, I'm trying to show y'all a picture. The difference was, it was enormous, right? So I say this to say that the place I was at mentally I was nowhere near who I am right now. I don't want to say nowhere near, because at this time I started to figure out ways to get myself together. I didn't quit drinking yet. I didn't really like fully start exercising, but I kind of like started looking up like exercises, and it was pretty much the start of me becoming me again. So I very much love her, because if it wasn't for her, I don't know where the hell I'd be at right now. Past me was a strong motherfucker. So anyways, yeah, I was gone mentally, right? So when I started trying to form these friendships, I thought it was a way to come back out of my shell, because I was shot to hell. You know what I mean? I had absolutely no self-worth. I did not love myself at all. I was ashamed of pretty much anything. I tried to dress up, but then, you know what I mean? He'd be like, how come you don't dress up anymore? And then I dress up, and then I would catch him looking at me funky. Like, I one time on my fucking birthday, and it's funny because I was wearing these pants right here, right? So I bought these pants on my 25th birthday. I bought these pants on my 25th birthday. I caught this man. He didn't see me turn around and see him looking at me like, it hurt me so bad, because it's like, why are you with me? Like, why are you with me if you think I'm fucking ugly? I don't know. That make no sense to me. So basically, Club turned into Gossip Club. So every time somebody, because eventually the gay couple split up. Or they were going through things. I don't think they actually split up. But then it started to just be the main guy that I originally met, that we were exchanging wine with. They split up. And the Indian girl and her boyfriend I don't think I don't think they split up, but they were literally right next door. So just as much as they was hearing my argument, there's something about that motherfucking apartment complex that it just seemed like it was ruining relationships. It was like this ominous fucking spirit was around there wrecking families. I'm not even joking, because after he was already a single man, but after he came into the club, the guy who called himself basically trying to save me in one of my domestic violence situations, at some point, I'm gonna say, because he was the neighbor by the garbage, so I'm just gonna say garbage man. Garbage neighbor. So basically we became like this wine relationship talk club, because then she was having issues, they were having issues, I clearly was having issues, and there was another guy. So then we ended up getting another neighbor, and he was like Portuguese or something. It was very diverse. It was a very diverse group. He was like Portuguese. And he was having issues too. But me and him end up having this one-on-one talk, because as I'm going, I think his apartment was on the same level as me, my neighbor, the Indian girl, and the Indian woman. I don't know why when I talk about other women, I say girls sometimes. Other Indian woman and garbage neighbor. So we're all on the same level. So like when we're all kind of going back to our respective apartments, it's just me and him left. And then we start talking. And then I found out that he was also having relationship issues. So we started talking about that. Like, it's something up with this motherfucking neighborhood. Because we weren't like in the hood, but we were definitely in probably like the lower class part of Vegas, where it's like, I wouldn't even say it's lower class. It was basically like like between lower class and middle class in the hood. Because the closer you are to the strip, the more it's considered the hood. But some parts aren't the hood. They're just like old Vegas. They're just like old Vegas. So it's like everybody's paying a good amount of rent. And some of these apartments are gated, but if you walk outside your gated apartments, you're going to see a lot of homeless people. You're going to see a lot of drugged out people. I don't know how to explain it, but I mean, we were in a bad neighborhood, but our apartment complex itself was not a bad apartment complex. Everyone was pretty clean. For the most part, everyone's quiet until like you hear a couple arguing. Like there's always a couple arguing, I promise you. Because we used to live at an apartment in that same street, but across the street. And there's always a couple that I would never live over there again. Ever, ever, ever. Yeah, so we get to talking, and Richard shows up. Mind you, this is at a time where me and him broke up. He's doing his thing. He never stopped doing his thing. That's what's crazy about his mother calling me and talking about some damn friends. Okay. And then that's crazy because I told her, I was like, hey, did you know I had male friends? And she'd be like, what? And I'm like, did you know I had male friends? And she's like, well, I don't even see why y'all need friends. So. And the part of the reason why, like, me and him's not together at this time. Because he didn't like the fact that I kept trying to figure out, basically, if he was lying to me or not. Like, I wouldn't let it go. And he did not like the fact that I wouldn't let it go. So he would weaponize his silence against me. As you can see, I'm very talkative. I communicate a lot. So he would use his... Like, me and him used to, like, conversation flow. He started weaponizing that. So, if I'm like, hey, I'm uncomfortable about this friend, or I'm uncomfortable how you chilling with your ex, or I'm uncomfortable how you talking to these fucking coworkers, or... When he walks up, because he would just pop up. He would never say, hey, can I come over? Because he would leave, because he'd had his own little house to go to. So we were living together, but as soon as he didn't like anything I said, he would go to his house. But he would leave to his house. So, and then he would pop up. But when he would pop up, I'm always there. I'm always at home. Like, because it's like, what else am I going to do? I didn't have a car. He would weaponize money. So he's like the main breadwinner. So if I got to use all my money to buy food, I got to use all my money for bills. And so basically he always had the like go out money. He had the date night money. But then if he didn't want to, if I'm talking too much about how we need to change, then now we're not going out. We're not going out. I did these fast. These is cute. I'm over here like, these are cute. So, yeah, but he would like weaponize money. So I'm pretty much stuck at home. And I know what y'all thinking. Because, yeah, I should have just got a job. Or just make my own money. Well, actually, I don't want to say it like that. I used to always say that my business, man, it was a full-blown business. I think it's probably clear why I used to say it like that. No one fucking believed in me. So if I'm doing if I was doing my business, that's meant for childcare. And, I put like my prices, and because I was living in the close to the more citier part of Vegas, I got a lot of hits. So I was working, but because I didn't have a standard 9 to 5, people would call it my little job or my little business. And he assumed I would just be I think he assumed I would be sitting up in the house because I didn't have money. But I did have money because I started my own business. So when he popped up, he just went in the apartment. Mind you, he never gave me back the key or anything. When he would leave, he would not give me back the key so that he could pop up on me. I eventually caught on to that, and if we would break up, I would take the key back. But by that time, when I started taking keys back, it's because I wasn't drinking anymore, and I was trying to make shit final. He popped up on me, but I wasn't there because I was having wine parties. And when he couldn't find me, or I guess he couldn't find me, I didn't really know that he was looking for me. So I'm coming up out of the neighbor's house. We done exchange wines and cappuccino, and it was so cool. It was so cool, but I would have rather had that kind of community without alcohol, though. One day again. He pops up on me, and he doesn't see me there. Let me not wipe my mic. I gotta go. So as he's coming out of my apartment, I'm coming out of the neighbor's apartment. This man starts going off, and I'm in like this. I'm kind of in like. I'm telling you, I started getting my fire back. I started getting my fire back. So I'm just like, why are you here? And he's like, what the fuck you mean? Why are you not in the house? And you supposed to be in the house, and I don't understand what you're doing out here. Do you know what time it is? And I'm like, do you know what time it is? Where were you? Where were you? So now we're arguing. Where are the kids? And where are the... Did you get a babysitter? Did you pay for a babysitter? You know what I'm saying? Like, oh, if you're a woman and you see this and you have kids and your motherfucking man get mad at you for getting a motherfucking babysitter, or having a fucking life just because you have kids and you're not supposed to have a life, and he's not doing anything to help you have a life, please don't let this man talk to you or talk down to you or make you feel like you're a bad mother because you want to have a life. That would be, and if that was the case, that would be like right now, I'm finna go do something. That would be like him coming here right now, busting open the door and being like, where the kids? Did you pay for a babysitter? Did you, like, when niggas go out, do they say, hey, do we need a babysitter? Hey, how much money would it be for a babysitter right now? I'm about to go out. No, they just expect you to watch them. They just expect you to watch them. They don't ask no questions. They don't say, hey, is there any reason why I maybe shouldn't go out tonight? And then they'll be like, oh, you go out every weekend. You ain't been out in 2 years. You ain't been out in 2 months. You be going out every weekend. You be leaving the kids with your mama. That's crazy to me. Because if the CEOs wouldn't watch my kids. I don't have the luxury of dropping my children off at random places or people's houses or families' houses so I can go party. I don't. I'm not even a party girl, honestly. I'm more of a I'm more like a chill person. But if I'm being honest, I'd rather go out during the day. I'm more of a go out during like libraries, bookstores, coffee shops, painting or art shows, galleries, something you could do with your hands. Let's go to a dance class, taekwondo. Shit. But you know, it's not even saying that's just me, as if there's anything wrong with a chick wanting to go out and shake her ass. So what? The fuck? These kids didn't fall from the sky. You know how they got here. Let me stop. But no, so he's basically going off like blah 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 blah, and it's going out one ear and out the other, because like I said, I was getting into that. I was getting in my bag. Like, I'm so sick of men using these same dumbass lines to get women stuck and feeling shamed, and you can't have a life, but they would never do anything to help you do anything. It's like being like, because at this time, I have found out that he was calling me the one with the business. Now I had no LLC yet, so chill. But the person who's literally fucking hustling legally. But it was just like, I don't know. It was something about making my own money that made me realize that the only reason why he had so much control over me was because he damn near trapped me. And I'm only saying that because I said specifically to him, I did not want any kids. I did not want any kids. In our first year of our relationship, he tried to talk me into having children. And mind you, when you don't want to do something, you won't do it. I'm not saying that if you do end up doing it, that means you want to do it, but you didn't really take enough precautions to not do it. So in that case, it comes off like you didn't do enough to at least prevent it. In my case, I didn't do enough to prevent not having a child. So when he convinced me in year 2, 3 to have a kid, he pretty much convinced me to have a kid. Like, we had an actual sit-down conversation, and him being like, no, we got this. You know, he's making all this money. We have our own place. We have a car. Like, you know what I mean? All we need is the ring, kind of thing. And so when he tried it at first, I took a plan B behind his back. Because I'm like, nah, I don't believe it. I'm scared. And then he convinced me again. And so we did it. And then he left me right the fuck after. Maybe not literally after. It was about 2 weeks afterwards. 2 weeks after I found out I was pregnant, he left me. And and that's when the games begin. It's trash. It's fucking trash. So I ain't fucking care. And honestly, I probably even started boasting. Like, yeah, I'm out here. I was a little tipsy too. I'm out here, and what the fuck? I got friends. I got many. So we started arguing. Same garbage neighbor comes out again. Like, hey, you need to leave her alone. And at that time, now I'm just like, yeah, you heard what he said? God damn. Bad idea, right? Bad idea. So I'm like, yeah, you heard him. You better run. So he skedaddles. He doesn't literally run. But basically, he's just like, you trash ass. He didn't say that. He didn't talk like that. It was just more like he's basically saying, like, you're a terrible woman. Shit like that, right? I ain't give a fuck. I didn't. So, because of all of this mess of arguing, at the time where it was time to renew the lease wasn't coming. The renewed lease wasn't coming. We got a complaint. Well, I got a complaint about the noise. So that's how I was like, confirmed, like, damn, they're gonna kick us out for sure. So it was like one of them nights where I'm like outside, I'm thinking like, fuck, what am I gonna do? I don't make enough money from this business yet. I haven't saved up enough money from this business yet. I didn't make enough either, but I didn't save up enough money from this business yet. I'm outside, and my Indian neighbor, she comes outside, and we're like having this chit chat. She, like me, attracted cats for some reason. So we all here petting this random black cat. And we're talking. We're like sitting on the goddamn concrete. Like, me and her used to vibe. And so, like, we're just chit-chatting about, like, what are we gonna do? Not what are we gonna do, but, like, what am I gonna do? And the downstairs neighbor, mind you, he's also another person with a couple. He is a black dude with his black wife. And he comes outside. And I take note of this because it had been a little chitter-chatter around the apartment complex that no one has seen his wife in months. Nobody's seen his wife in months. And we had seen he had like a wife and 2 kids. And like we seen the kids, but ain't nobody seen the wife in months. So it's just kind of like low key, like, because we're upstairs, he's downstairs, so we're like thinking it might be the wife. Well, it's not with the wife, it was him. So he comes out and he looks up at us and he's like, is everything okay up there? Mind you, noise has way passed. The noise has way passed. So we're like, yeah, we're good. And he's like, oh, okay, I'm just making sure you're all right. And I'm like, oh yeah, I'm fine. Then it dawned on me, this man lived downstairs. You know how much shit he's probably heard? Embarrassing. So yeah, like, we're fine. But we didn't want him to hear us, so we just kind of go back to the conversation versus being like, what the fuck? Oh my god. Instead of gossiping. So time goes past. A couple of times we do this wine thing. I think we did it like once a week. And so we get to a time where like we do our little wine thing. And everybody's like, yeah, I got this, I got that. And like literally just bringing a whole bunch of different types of brands with a whole bunch of different types of flavors. Yeah. But this time, garbage neighbor and black neighbor comes over. Or they're like outside, because no one's really just all up in his house. Like, we don't really just be all up in his house. I think only person who's really been in there is me and the Indian girl. Indian woman! So, like, we're just, like, hanging out there. And I notice garbage neighbor coming downstairs. This is another white dude, but maybe a bit younger than Italian neighbor. I don't want to give them names, so you at least got the visuals, right? It's very diverse. It's a very diverse group of people. For some reason, I got this weird stomach in the pit of my the weird. So you know how you get butterflies, and I know some people associate butterflies with like good things, like nervous, like ooh, like you know what I mean. Which I get, like if you like somebody, you may get a bit of butterflies, but I don't associate it with that because I've been through so many situations where like the love of my life, gives me that butterfly feeling, and it isn't a good thing. So I stopped associating butterflies with goodness, because then when I'm more aware and I'm like, oh, somebody that I'm cool with, I don't get butterflies. Like my face lights up, my stomach doesn't fucking burn. So for me, I don't know, I see it differently. When you get butterflies, to me personally, that's called a gut feeling. So I started getting butterflies, and I'm just like, why the fuck do I feel like that? And so he's coming up like, hey, what you guys doing? But he's kind of like, and I'm like, and I was like, oh no, I don't fucking like me at work and don't fucking like me where I live. I had the gut feeling, and I'm like, oh, and now he's just like, So I'm like, damn, he ain't even gonna try none of this wine, is he? He's just gonna be over here fucking staring at me the whole time. What was he doing? Staring at me the whole time. But at the same time, I didn't want to believe that he was looking at me because I did not love myself. I did not think I was attractive, so I didn't even understand why he would be looking at me. I didn't think I was pretty anymore. So it was kind of a weird feeling of like, dang, am I still attractive? And then being like, oh, but don't fucking think like that, because then now you gonna be over here being like, and you don't need that. You don't need that drama. So it got to the point where I felt like I was asking, or I felt like I wasn't being myself. So I'm like, okay, I'm gonna head out, and so I start to leave. And then I had to walk by him because he's in the front. He's in the doorway. So I instantly knew, yep, that's it. But as I'm doing that, right, my neighbor, the one directly next to me, the Indian woman, So anyway, she starts to leave with me because, mind you, even though I was about to say his name, even though our gay neighbor is gay, so I don't think we ever felt uncomfortable with him. Like, he was one of the girls. Even though he was there, though, she didn't want to be the only girl there. That's what she said. She didn't want to be the only girl there. So she was asking, like, hey, can I go with you? Talk to you about something? We ain't talk about shit. I mean, we talked about a lot, but it was pretty much, she told me, like, I just don't want to be in there by myself. As we're going upstairs, so is black neighbor, the dude downstairs. So now we're like, the fuck? Oh, shit. And so we're like, why is he? So he's like, oh, I just want to come up here with y'all. Like, what y'all doing? So we're like, we talk a little bit, but we don't know you. We don't know you, nigga. You got a wife. You have a wife. That's even more weird. Like, we all up here fucking single as hell. Well, she wasn't single. But it was like, we're clearly going through things. All of us, clearly. You look like you got a happy family. And a matter of fact, where is she? Where is she? So I'm like, okay, yeah, bye. We, hey, okay, bye. I'll text you. Okay, text you. Because we're the only ones that actually had each other's number. It's me and her. We didn't really exchange numbers with anybody else. I'm actually surprised we didn't exchange numbers with the gay guy. But I don't think it ever really came up. I don't think it really ever came up. So I go in the house. Right? Of course, don't really see them all week. Living life. Our Friday comes. We're all hanging out again. And then the gay neighbor tells us he's moving. And we were like fucking sad. I think we even maybe cried a little. Because like, we were like hanging out for a good fucking year. And didn't exchange numbers. So he's like telling us that he was moving. Stuff was packed already. And he's like, oh yeah, I'm moving tomorrow morning. And it fucking sucked balls. And then we kind of like wrap that up. We wrap it up like we always do. And this time it's me, Indian neighbor, black neighbor, Portuguese neighbor, garbage neighbor, Italian neighbor, gay neighbor. Right. All of us. Vibes was vibing, but Portuguese neighbor, black neighbor, and garbage neighbor was giving me, it was too much. So he's starting to flirt, and he's starting to flirt. And I'm just like, what? Leave me alone, right? Remember when I told y'all that the stalker would drop that picture outside of my, ain't been no buzz. Drop the picture outside of my door. He hits me with one of those moves. So I go in the house, like everybody like leaves. Well, I don't think everybody leaves. I think it was just me and Indian neighbor. So we all leave. Or we leave. And when I come outside, it's his name. It's a poster of a rock band. So I was like, telling my story. And he said, I heard, and it's a poster of one of the bands that I liked. And he was saying, I love them and whatever. Telling me, like, I play guitar or whatever like that. So I was like, oh, okay. Here we go. And don't get me wrong, I love the band. The poster was dope, but I just knew what comes with men taking interest in you. Especially when they think that you're vulnerable and weak. Which I suppose I was. Because I don't think it was unclear that I didn't love myself at the time. I mean, I'm not saying I was just doing like, But I feel like people can tell when you're not connected to yourself. So it was like, I didn't want to feel like I was being preyed on. But I was a wino also. So the way that I acted and the way that I felt was not the same. Like, if I felt uncomfortable, wine had me thinking like, shit, I don't give a fuck, I'm on top of the world, great. So I probably looked like I was bold, even when I didn't feel at all bold. Alcohol would do that to you. Liquid courage. So, but I'm still me, so I'm still aware that, like, oh, I'm not comfortable with this. Even though I'm not saying anything. I don't know what the hell I'm supposed to say. Hey, doop, doop, doop. I just said that and it just clicked a memory. I actually did end up doing it. I just waited the next day. I did end up doing that, and he was like, oh, I knocked on his door, and he's like, oh, you know, I was just trying to give, or do a nice gesture or something like that. And I guess I put a bad taste in his mouth. Yes, that's because that's how we get to this. I put a bad taste in his mouth. Basically, I put a bad taste in his mouth. So, when we do our little wine thing again, he does not show up. And then Italian neighbor ends up telling me after we're all done, and he's smoking a cigarette, and I didn't have any more cigarettes. So I asked him, like, hey, can I get a cigarette? He's like, oh, yeah. And he's telling me that, he says, like, you need to watch out for him, something like that. And he's like, you know, he drinks a bit. And I was like, oh, yeah, I thought we all drink. But he's like, no, he's an alcoholic. He, you know, so the fuck was I. But he's like, no, he's like, he's not in a good place. So just, like, be careful. So I'm just thinking of it like, okay. But I think the way I said it was just like, okay, I'll keep an eye out for it. But in my head, I'm like, oh, fuck, I knew it. But he kind of suggests, like, that he has been saying things about me. And I'm like what? And I know that we're talking during our little get-togethers, but it's not like I'm telling everybody my credit score and my fucking social security number. Like, I don't know how much you could say. Like, how much do you get to know when you've only been down there twice? So I'm low-key, like, getting pissed. Like, don't go ruining our shit now. It got ruined. It got ruined, one, because the neighbor moved, right? So when we would... the Italian neighbor, he kind of tried to make it to where we would hang out at his place, but no one ever actually went in his place. He had a very nice place, so I could see why he like, yeah, I can't come in here. So we kind of just hang out there, but it wasn't the same. It was not the same. I feel like gay neighbor was the glue. It just kind of got a little bit... Obviously, we were already gossiping, right? But the gossiping was just more like tea. It was like, ooh, what's tea today? What's tea, baby? That it started feeling more just like, yeah, and did you hear about John down the street? Yeah, he's going to jail, and I can't believe they're hiking up the prices of the... It was just kind of getting like we would listen to the news. Like the gossiping news. It was like, okay. So it definitely started to die off. But he had the nerve. So Richard pops up again. This is during the day. Richard pops up again. And as Richard's coming up the stairs to come into the apartment, to not call or warn me or anything, but just to come in, this man says to him, garbage neighbor says to him, you need to watch your girl. She out here asking people for cigarettes. I'm like, I asked for one. Well, he tells me because I don't hear it. So he comes in and says it. And he's like, yeah, your friend... He used to love saying that. If I didn't like somebody, he would always say, your little friend. So he's like, your little friend said you be out there asking for cigarettes. And I told him to mind his fucking business. But, you know, I don't know. Like, if you need some cigarettes, you know you could just ask me. I said it was one fucking cigarette. It was one. It ain't like I was like, hey, anybody got cigarettes? I just asked for, like, damn, okay. I know it's tea now. But I was very embarrassed because I was already holding so much shame and guilt. So I'm like, now I'm thinking that everybody thinks I'm a fucking fiend. So I stopped going outside for a while. I was just like, yeah, I'm not going outside. I stopped going outside. So when I started getting into my working out, like I started taking working out seriously, but I wasn't really on it like gym. I was too embarrassed to go to the gym. So I would just take walks. I would just take like really like 1 hour, 2 hour walks because I'm like, that's my thing. I love walking. I could use that. I could use that to my will. So I would just start walking. I would, if I see neighbors, I'd be like, hey, 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 but I'm out, like I'm leaving. And the more I would do this, I started losing weight. I lost, and this is over the course, like this started to get to like, we're at like 5-6 months, and I stopped hanging out. So about 5-6 months when I stopped hanging out with everybody after that cigarette shit. So I start walking, and I lost my first. I was only 200 pounds, but like I said, I looked like I was 270 pounds. 250 pounds. I looked like I was 250 pounds. I got down to 170 just from walking for like 5 months straight. Well, actually, I lost that weight way before I hit the 5-6 month mark. But it was at 5-6 months where I actually got a scale, checked my weight, and realized I was at 170. Because I had noticed I was slimming. I had noticed my clothes was changing. But I couldn't quite confirm it because I didn't have scale. So I got a scale and I was 170. I was so fucking proud of myself. Yeah, I was proud of myself. So Richard did something. Basically he came over, got me really, really drunk. And let's just say I missed my period. So then my progress kind of stagnated, and I was pregnant, and that's how I had my third child. So I was even more not outside, but I would still, of course, be outside. Like, people could see me. But the only person who was talking to me, oh wait, no, I missed a step. So right before I ended up getting pregnant, black neighbor found me on motherfucking Instagram. I don't know how I was about to miss that. He found me on fucking Instagram. So I get this message, and it said, what the fuck did it say? I think I still have it too. It said something to the extent of like, hey, Indian neighbor told me, no, he said, hey, this is your neighbor or whatever. And I'm like, trying to look. I could not tell who it was. I don't think I ever really looked at his face. Because, I don't know. He got a wife. So I never was like in his face detail by detail. So I didn't know it was him. I thought it was somebody else. So I was like, hey, damn, it's been a minute. And he's like, yeah, it has. And I'm like, what have you been up to? And he's like, just hearing stumping and bumping upstairs. And I'm like, what does that mean? What are you talking about? What does that mean? Like, is that like a joke? I wasn't even on TikTok yet, so I'm just like, is this like some type of social media joke? I don't be on social media anymore because I was embarrassed of myself. But he was like, no, I'm just joking. Because you're kids. So I'm like, wait, what? I said, who is this again? And he's like, this is your neighbor. Oh my God. I was like my downstairs neighbor? And he's like, yeah. Who did you think it was? Not you, nigga. I said, hi. I said, how you find me? Straight to the point. How you find me? And he's like, oh, your Indian neighbor told me. And I was like, she told you what? And I know it probably sounds like a little extra. My name is Mikael, right? My name is fucking Mikael, right? Most people don't even know how to say my goddamn name. I've gotten called Michael, Michaela, Michelle, Mikael. This one chick who thought she was, let me not go in on her. She was black. But for some reason, she kept wanting to tell me that she was Spanish. And I'm not saying I don't know about Afro-Latinas. She was not an Afro-Latina. For some reason, she always said, Micaela. And I'm like, okay. I have to tell y'all story time about her. Because blown. That's why I'm like, I said, what did she say my name was? And I think it clicked to him. So he was like, first of all, my name is Mickey. That's my second. It's either Mikael, Michael, right? Butcher. Or it's Mickey. And when it's Mickey, which is why I have this song, everyone does, hey, Mickey, you're so fine, you blow my mind. Hey, Mickey. When Bring It On came out and they had that, hey, Mickey, you're so fine. I was it. I was that girl. Because then people come and go, hey, Mickey, you're so fine. And I'm like, and then I started getting tired of it, because then it started to be a thing where boys say, hey, Nikki, you so fine. Damn, fine. And I'm like, shut the fuck up. But the other one was Mickeymous. Don't nobody fucking spell Mickey the way my name is spelled. So that's why I said it, and I think he knew. I think it clicked to him. So he's like, oh yeah, it did take me a long time to find you. It actually took a couple hours. He's like, because yeah, I was looking at Mickey and I couldn't find you. And I said, and you came up with Mikki, huh? That's weird. That's fucking weirdo shit. Why would you spend hours trying to find your neighbor? And I'm like, do you know how hard you have to be trying to not know how to spell somebody's name, figure out how to spell their name, and then find them? That's like me saying my name is Mikhail and I've never spelt it. I've never spelt it. You've never seen it spelt in my way in your life. Or any way, because I don't know. I don't really meet Mikhails. I meet Mickeys. But every time I meet a Mickey, it's Mickey. I've only met a Mickey once. It was a Hispanic girl in school. It's fucked. I was weirded out. Instantly weirded out. I was ready to block his ass. But now he's sending me like mass messages. And he's like, oh, I just want to let you know that you're pretty. I just want to let you know that I really like you. I just wanted this, I wanted that. I want to blah, 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 blah. Sometimes it's weird to me because I'm like, the way that people used to act, the way I felt I looked back then is like, imagine meeting a stalker right now. I don't know. I'm not trying to like boast. But the way y'all be acting is crazy to me. Wait, not y'all, but way people like, I don't know. Fuck it. So he's just like going in. So I, in all caps, said, don't you have a wife? And he's like, yeah, but I've always had, he said, I always had a fantasy where I sneak around and I fuck my neighbor. My stomach dropped to my ass. I text Richard. I said, hey, yo. I start sending him screenshots. I'm like, hey, you know what I mean? Like, y'all, this is what I found out. If you ever have a man that is overbearing, controlling, treat you like shit, don't like nothing you do, blah, 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 they will never protect you. They will never protect you for real. Hey, I don't know. Maybe some people have that. But I've noticed that when I'm in real danger and I'm with a narcissist, I've been with two, and I'm with a narcissist, they never protect you. They never fucking protect you. They never fucking show up. They never show up. So I'm like, back to back texting him. I'm calling him. He does not fucking answer. Meanwhile, it ain't like he doesn't come over here. It's not like he's never seen this. He's seen this dude before. It was a 4th of July we spent there because I had just had, well, this was after. Yeah, well, I just had, this was after. So, yeah, he does all this weird shit. He's texting weird shit. I'm calling, I'm texting him. He does not fucking answer. He's talking about some, my fantasy is he would not stop messaging me this fucking wild fantasy of him fucking his neighbor. Still haven't seen the wife. Still never seen the wife. I don't know if he did. So he's like, I have a fantasy of me, being my neighbor, and I'm something about getting head and oh my god. It was something about getting head, like, but like in a more like a violent way. Well, not like violent, but like a rough sex with my neighbor. So I'm like, how long you had this? I was like, how long you had this fantasy? Oh, when I'm scared, I just say stupid ass funny shit. I'm like, how long you had this fantasy, huh? Since I've been here? Was this a fantasy growing up, or I don't know why the fuck I had sex. I was like, how long? Like, is this like at the time I moved in? Like, was there old neighbors and you was thinking about them? Like, is this real, or are you just saying this weird ass shit because for some reason you think I'm finna go for it? And that's why, like, with me back then, I started just to assume that it was me. Like, I attracted weirdos because I looked desperate, or because I looked like shit, or because I didn't feel good inside, and they all knew it, so they knew that I was gonna go for anything because I was just this desperate bitch. Like, I put myself so down. I never really said this is just a fucking weirdo until I got pregnant. So then I'm still waiting on Richard. So when he eventually shows up, he doesn't do anything. And he shows up the next fucking morning. He doesn't do anything. He doesn't go down there and say anything. He doesn't say, like, hey, maybe you should make a complaint, which I didn't need him to say that. I could have just did it. But like I said, I had no self-worth. I felt like, damn, did I wear something weird? Did I look at him weird? I was putting myself down, and he was not helping. He's just like, damn, what was he saying? Like, he wasn't saying, like, nothing. Like, I had nobody. It was nobody I could tell. Like, or no, that's a lie. Because I told someone who I thought was my friend, not the neighbor, but, like, I didn't tell her. Because I felt like which actually is what happened. When I eventually did tell her about it, she felt guilty about telling him my name. But I didn't tell her. I'm talking about a friend that I actually just recently dropped. Because it's like, when you wake up and you realize who's in your corner, it's like, you niggas ain't shit. But she laughing and she's like, oh my God, that's crazy. I'm like, damn, I'm over here thinking, like, should I file a police report? Like, what the fuck should I do? And then shortly after that, I found out I was pregnant. Because then, niggas. So when this happens and he sees that I'm concerned, and like I'm telling him, like, no, this man he owns something, and he didn't look at it like you're in danger and we have kids and they may be in danger. We have a kid and she may be in danger. He just started looking at it like, oh, niggas like you. I'm gonna hang around more. And when I say that, like, I know it could have been, no, it wasn't. I know it should have been, oh, I'm gonna be around more so that he can see that you're not alone and he'll leave you alone. No, he wasn't acting like that. Now he like, yeah, I saw that nigga downstairs. Now he's scared to look at me. You know, come on, baby. And smacking my ass while we outside. Like, bro, this ain't a fucking competition. I'm scared. Like, this is weird shit. This was vulgar and detailed by, like, long paragraphs of what he wants to do to a neighbor because of his fantasy. So, yeah, once I found out I was pregnant, I just stopped going outside, honestly. I stopped going outside unless I was actually leaving. Like, basically what I was doing before, but I'm not, like, even talking to anybody. Honestly, not even the Indian neighbor. Because I just felt so much shame. Because I'm like, damn, does everybody just think I'm pussy over here? Does everybody just... I don't know. Like, I felt like everyone was looking at me like a certain type of way. Domestic violence here everywhere. The wino, you know, the big girl who ain't got no self-worth because everybody over here think that they can get some Gucci. So, right after I have my daughter, because pretty much for me, life started getting pretty good because I wasn't drinking. So, after I had I'm glowing. I lost so much weight. I did end up gaining some of the weight back after I had her. But because of not drinking, I'm not, like, just mindlessly eating and shit like that. So, after I have her, I kind of pretty much look like I do, like, right now. Maybe, like, a bit more drained, because, you know, you have kids, they it kind of started to happen again. Like, people, like, the same, not people, but, like, the same dudes. And it's one other dude. It was one other dude, a black dude with his Hispanic wife. Just, he was like stare, but he would never try to like join in or anything. But, you know, so it's back to them staring, and now they looking at me like they finna get a piece of the pie. Oh, she's back, y'all, she's back. But I never did do the community shit again. I never did. Ended up getting a letter that said that they will not be renewing my lease. I wasn't surprised. So when we start moving, because me and Richard started moving, packing, stuff like that. Tell me why these men, the black, no, not the black dude. Yes, the black dude. The black dude the Portuguese dude, garbage neighbor, Italian neighbor. I don't even know why he was out there with them, though. I kind of hurt my feelings because I'm like, damn, does he not? Because I never stopped talking to him. Like, because the where you have to walk out, he's literally seen my kids grow up. Yeah, like, but he was sitting down there with them. And I'm not fucking kidding. They were all in this walkway that you cannot avoid walking this walkway. You can't. So when they saw the movers, because we hired movers, when they saw the movers coming, because it was just a Italian neighbor, and he was asking like, "Oh, you're moving?" And I'm like, "Yeah." I felt like he was like, "Doop doop doop. Hey everybody, she's moving." I don't fucking know, because when they're like in the house and we're like packing up boxes, like, "Oh, you could take this, and that." The movers are like, started to complain about people being in the way, and he's like, he said something like, I'm not sure. It was somebody complained, basically. Somebody complained to the movers about how they were moving. Or I think the truck, somebody in that, like a landlord or like the leasing office, somebody complained to them about, and then we're like, what the fuck? Like, how are we supposed to move? Because if it's not them doing that, it's us doing that. Like, what do you mean? Like, so we're just like, yeah, just do it. Like, we don't give a fuck, we leaving. Right? So, for some reason, it caused a stir. And they're all these niggas is sitting in chairs. I'm not fucking kidding. All these niggas is sitting in chairs watching us all move out. Like, literally, like in lawn chairs. Like, and mind you, never seen Black Neighbor downstairs, the fantasy guy. Never seen him hang out with them without me and the Indian neighbor. It's probably one of the most weirdest shit I've ever seen in my life. Like, for some reason, that gave me confidence. Because it's like, what could give you more confidence than to have a bunch of people who wanted you, couldn't get you, see you getting evicted. I wasn't getting evicted, but basically it looked like that shit. We're leaving. It was not like a green tag or sheriff's, so it's not like 30-day notice. But it is a 30-day notice, because it's like, we won't be renewing your lease, so you do have this amount. But it's not like an eviction, like, hey, you didn't pay your rent, you gotta go. And maybe they thought that's what the fuck happened, I don't know. But what could give you more confidence than to literally feel embarrassed to be moving, and these people quite literally are making an audience of themselves? For some reason, I got juice. I got juice. Because after that, 5 months later, I quit drinking. And life has been on the up and up since. Because I could have been like, I don't want to see them. I don't want them to see me. I don't want them to see me do this. I could have. And I was just like, I don't know. I got like real like, yo, these niggas. Like, because what the fuck? And mind you, also ended up finding out that garbage neighbor had a black girlfriend. He had a black fucking girlfriend. Because one day, she's looking over, she's by his apartment, but she's looking over the balcony and like, kind of like, and like looking at me like, bitch. But I didn't know why. Like, I'm like, why? So then eventually when I see her again, they're together. I'm like, I know, and for all I know, this nigga being like, yeah, that's the one. She was trying to take me, honey. I'm telling y'all, it's something about men that I bring the creep out of if the creep is in there. It's something about it. I don't even think it's just literally me, though. Like I said, I think women, certain types of women bring creeps out of men. Man, these motherfuckers was posted. Just like, one over here like this, the other one over here like that. I know Richard had to be like, what the fuck did you do to these niggas? I don't call that, because like, I don't think I've ever heard of somebody doing that. Like, all your neighbors getting to... I think the only thing that would probably have made me like cry or some shit is if Indian neighbor was out there. That would have probably been like, damn, none of y'all like me. But anyways, I hope you guys like this story time. I will see you guys in the next story time. Have a good day. And I'll see you guys later.